Gaba Fambo, good morning. Watsalo, and it's a big talk, no say a master po. Now the program this morning, Fambo, the Ministry for Local Government and Community Affairs, don't ensure say one paramount chief, they don't withdraw in recognition when a paramount chief Alimami Sori can take care of Konike Barina Chiefdom inside Tonkolili district. Well, we go find out from the Minister of Local Government, waiting bring this kind of a decision. Yes, so we go also bring you to read the way they happen across the country, and one organization where them where that organization they for make sure say people them where they na them different country them then Scandinavian country them they say Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum the conference they come where they say na Scandinavia Nordic Europe conference therefore happen where that conference they say na for make some direct foreign investments dem do am between the different countries dem wey go make development come na the country. World Meat Morning Coffee say one man inside Kenema inject im own pikin with caustic soda. We go look inside that one day again na the program. Group of female teacher dey inside Cambia district wey UNICEF dey support, dem don talk say dem get issue with the way manner how their salary business dey go. Na the program today we go talk to the co-chair for the Miata Civic Center Advisory Council as the Miata conference dem get for transform am to Miata Civic Center. Then to also Emode for you inside morning coffee, add voice and comment to the number 0341000444 or you send them to the Facebook live stream page.
Well, for the first story this morning, we dey go inside Cambia District. One group we na woman teacher them inside Cambia District, we na UNICEF they support them, say they're not glad and they're always concerned about their payments. They make this direct appeal to the Teaching Service Commission, na Cambia District and self authority them, na UNICEF and self the government in general. The teacher then claims say they don't do all waiting them for do as they ask them the document them for present, but when they go na the Union Trust Bank na Cambia, they know for check for their salary, say the money no reach the eight. And this we don't make so the teacher them they don't raise concern and they say although UNICEF don't tell them say they don't do all the payments then. Well, for talk more on this, my company way na Ibrahim Sori Kamara, we talk to them teacher them yaso and they say this one don't make the authority na Cambia don't they raise concern how this thing don't happen.
Which bank here? I know that they get for pay una. So una kind of bank what's in itself. I tell you say what money already reflect on the banking. That's na UT bank. Yes, sir. Alright. What's una they do now now? You plan out for actual one thing step by step. Whether you say we don't pay we don't pay we go. Sanity there for Madina. Alright. So like almost be for Canada. Alright. So what you can do at the bank? I can at the bank. All I can confirm on your but what can I say? Pass over bank or take statement bank, like letter, or confirm money the given. What's class with the teach? Now pure. Okay. Now please. Now that meaning now UNICEF them for pure now. Now UNICEF for pure. So UNICEF don't pay? No. Because I don't want a bank. Or like confirm say money. So for March, salary not the run. Salary not the run. You know, it is run, but you know they get her. Yeah, now so they say, who believes to me say they don't pay me. Why we come they don't receive money now? Count back where they're hoping. We all hoping that Union Trust Bank. Up to this day, we not receive salaries. Money they're not in our account. So is this from government or from UNICEF? No, from UNICEF. Okay. UNICEF, right? Yeah. And from 2024, okay. I put this project camp. Okay. Up to this day. All right. This past March, now we post time contact and from then till they up to now, not receive salary. They don't pay first phase, they don't pay them. And we now second phase. So now we understand to now get for right the authorities there. Candia, the ONS, the paramount education office. Why not they write the letters there? Oh, money they way they say they don't pay we. Why we clear UTB, we not receive money in our accounts. It's like we say we write the letter they ask. Let me see. Society come on, so we can in a bank. And they come out from Okuku, where they transfer me na Robats. They pull me to Okuku and they transfer me na Robats. So it is paid out of you. I pay out of new money. And then from Madam, from Musai, Madam. From Cambia. So how you feel when they don't pay this money? Well, you really hard here. The reason being, when I don't start the journey with my confidence, then my confidence start to receive, when I don't receive rights, if we say now all those struggle, the same struggle, they see company guy is you know receive. So it really painful. Something I don't plan for to let government take you now. Because then they tell for still let them empower with the human them, but still they're not trying for empower me because this is really discouraging. Because if they think one say you want help girl picking, while when a girl picking the end we don't they teach for so many years. When this UNICEF program come, we all gladly we celebrate. But still like today, we don't feel like I say we don't left out. Because they say they don't pay me. You listen at TSC now if you go to the say and they say they don't pay. We don't work an over 3 weeks, even the last step, we got in a bank here, we can't confirm with payments. Then just they say they don't pay. Now we don't know how we fix them. So we don't come back for the last day. They ask.
Well, that's some teacher them inside Cambia districts where they get support from UNICEF, then they raise concerns there. From me, they receive their salary, and when they go to Union Trust Bank, they say the money, which they to the Voluntary Service Commission or look inside that case there. Now we go inside Kenema district, also one Abdul Karim, where na school begin na the Nasir Ahmadiyya Muslim Secondary School inside Kenema district, where then acquire section inside Kenema. They say that they allegedly they inject them with caustic soda when 21-year-old Omar when into that thing they well for talk more about this way as we reported the really report they say they became then the Kenema government hospital they say it they go treatments and we reporter we na Junisa we talk to this pikin in mama inside this interview.
So if you want market, let picky say ma go take care of Nadia. Nadia say okay. He say Nadia picky no cry. Nadia say okay. So after we come around go now, school, the mommy don't go to market. Well, one of the boy picky Abu, he don't let me they say for papa to close them. After that, they say for papa to close them. Now they enter now. And I like this Abu now the girl me and the men about me picky. Yeah. So I say for papa to close them. I enter. So Nadia says why make it Nancy. So after they enter now want to pick it. After you pick it, so after we don't enter now want to pick it. Now you need to pick it higher. Now go shall enter the office is another course. Now go shall enter. But I meet the picky one I have. Need to then picking the left of picking. Then the but in the school they need to instead of picking in body. But then I don't know if it wanted to use all the picking body. So now they are go shall open picking I have. After I go shall open picking I have. They are sitting. And I say I do what you do. They say you don't know how much. So now after that I want to keep it as evidence. I joke on here. Victoria. I want to Victoria. I want to Victoria. I want to answer the same. I say well, if I you don't know name I say well go find that counter from now I will sit. So after we go sit. Okay, if we go sit now, what is still happen when Abdul don't this speaking out with this So me no know now because at the drop of which the man said, so pikin when pikin thank God if I will pikin but pikin didn't pay. He didn't pay but he just insist all the pikin really when they did so when I took anything for discharge man, no, I'm not know it because of the pikin really they in pain. I'm not know the time now whatever for discharge because of the pikin really they in pain. Like just the man talk to us. So this big daddy don't reach you and I have not in hospital. Nope. No one they reach it. No one they sit there and I in hospital. Yeah. I'm not broke out pikin. So how old is pikin are they? Well the pikin not take just like 3 weeks no more. Just 3 weeks no more and I wouldn't take first. So the pikin are just 3 weeks you don't take all that. Yes sir. Okay. Yes. Man will do at least yes sir.
Well, that's in name na Khadija Sware in na the Peking in Mama, and it say this Abdul Kamara will do this advocate so to this Peking so na informer boyfriend, and Abdul they go na the Nasir Ahmadiyya Secondary School inside Kenema district, and Khadija will talk to me company and Junisa Bokari inside that interview there, but report will get a back so from a report and Kenema say Abdul they don't run away and they say the police they look for him as the investigation they continue. Now we go to one of our airline story who say we get reports say the minister of local government now he don't say he don't take the power back of the paramount chief who they be elect inside um as a Kunike Bana chiefdom inside Tonkolele district where the PC Almami story, the second of Katenke, where they be declare him as paramount chief, elect himself, then be later petition, they say we this be make investigation be the on. Well now we'll talk more on this decision now. So we get now the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs, Honorable Tamalamina, we will tell you more about this decision here. So how the ministry reached to this decision. Good morning and welcome to the program, Minister. Yeah, so Mr. Minister, many people will be surprised after they don't elect somebody, they don't take the oath as paramount chief. Them later, a letter like that they come up from the ministry say they don't pull up power the back now in hand. How now reach to this decision? Thank you very much. This is a decision we not the ministry in particular. In 2010, an election was conducted in Konikebari and Chico. After that election, the Ministry of Local Government then declare Chief Sori the winner of that election. Following that, there were petitioners who did not provide for because they did not satisfy the secret as to the process. They were secret from the courts. Then we went to the court. The court look at the matter. Then 2012, the court decided to annul that particular review. And because the court annulled that particular review, the Ministry of Local Government then is supposed to annul that election and conduct the new elections that actually done it. The court order come out and said, not the actual current holder of winner or stand the election again. So over time, the Ministry of Government has actually implement that court order. When the 2018 government, the SFP government, So, Mr. Minister, maybe for somebody who they listen, go one for no, waiting about the petition, what are the issues of petition? But again, you made the document at your table where might go don't give you the briefing or brief you reasoning for the order. And the ministry investigation in 2020, and that served that proof because I say 2021, when I do and further investigation for just for ascertain. So now on another implementer and we see to immediately. So which means as we speak now, the chiefdom is vacant or a regent care chief will be appointed later. And that will be a recipe again. That will be a recipe again for further on the rest of the chiefdom. Because somebody will not elect or ask for over 5, 6, or 7 years. Now they say if you can't leave that power there, with all the traditional rights we don't go through.
Okay, so how soon una get for engage the community, the local community who say this paramount chief has been done the reign?
for them we find out just like asking with the investigation. But what we they do now is that we as a ministry will therefore go at the chiefdom, will get a stakeholder meeting and inform them as to how the process will go. The process obviously not bar anybody for them to contest. During the current parliament people and all the elections at that time, they take their right for contest came. So as far as we concerned, we did in the process of engagement, and I mean we try for now make it very speedy. Usually elections after they can't occur, it can be within 12 months.
This
But we don't try for limit successfully within the next 6 months. We will try as much as possible. But now, all the process to take place, website will be transparent, and now will exist as the corporate express in terms of the processes.
all right, Ambassador Tambalamina, this don't ever happen before in the history of chieftaincy.
Well, yes, people that people caught. Obviously, the memory of Hotelli for saying, well, they remove the chief and all that historical sketchy right now, they can talk to you. But what I know is that people that people caught after the elections don't happen, that if the court decides to say, what we do or the ministry do, we need for a visitor, we don't get no other option but for actually revisit that. And that is what exactly we are doing.
Okay, so for more on an pull and notice there now, the paramount chief we don't hand over everything in terms of all waiting is support empowers them where is support where we don't they do that the chiefdom. They don't hand over everything or is still they wait for a ceremony for they go hand over.
So there's no ceremony to it. We have officials that will be at the ground. I will not talk serious something. I will then hand over the staff of office, and obviously we don't withdraw the recognition of our as paramount chief. The various stakeholders, officials, they're all over the place. They don't notice that, and we don't put a notification out. And we will put the work on now is for try for hold a new election in our chiefdom, wherein we will get the legitimate paramount chief, where obviously that's not going to be over, so that peaceful can have a particular chiefdom.
All right, thank you so much for where you joined me in our morning coffee this morning, Mr. Tambalamina.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, that's now the Minister of Local Government and Community Affairs. They tell we waiting lead to the removal and withdrawal of recognition of Paramount Chief Alimami Sori the second of Katenke and Konike Barina Chiefdom inside Tonkolili district. We can now for take another story. We will come to some of we guests them will already join me inside the studio. Now the studio we get Dr. Patricia Bass, Southern Province Women's Network, and the Public Relations Officer, and we can talk about the annual general meeting will go happen this weekend from Friday to Sunday. Waiting and get go put in place. And of course we also get Obaye Kamara from Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum and the founder foreign direct portfolio investment for Sierra Leone. But as always, let me start with Dr. Patricia Bad. You go say agenda.
But I'm not surprised. I just when you take up a gender business, you only take the gender lens.
Exactly. Okay, so good morning, Dr. Bad. Pleasure for getting our morning coffee.
Good morning.
All right, so let me talk about the Southern Province Women's Network. Waiting family for know about this. I come about.
Good morning. The Southern Province Women's Network na an organization formed by women dem from Bo, Bond, Moyamba, and Pujo. And an organization wey na apolitical organization. Let me start from that. What I mean by that, not a political organization at all. Na organization wey made up of women dem wey comot at the district dem from different spheres of life. We get the one dem wey learn book, we get the one dem wey no learn better book, we get the one dem wey no learn at all. But what is important about the organization na women dem wey come together and look at the different districts and try for identify wetin are the issues dem wey dey affect women dem and girl pikin and how we go able give back, because we always comot at dem districts respective districts dem dey. Na there we born, na there we parents dem comot, and we believe say we forgive back to we district dem wey we comot, and we believe say we don dey in a position where we go able put one center together and address some of the issues around gender-based violence, child marriage, unemployment, how for empower we company women, then let them able for do something to but they no go rely on somebody else for their livelihood. And an organization where we look at and say we forget something where woman dem go able for go learn something, woman dem go able go where they under depression, so dem go get solace. So this organization don dey in existence from 2017, and that organization will get all tribes. Mende, Timini, Limba, Fula, Madigo. That's the interesting part of the Southern Province Women's Network. And one thing about this organization, I give back to the Eastern Province Women's Network, I give back to the Northern Province Women's Network, and with a plan for get with AGM and bring all the women and they from the district for now we get an umbrella organization where go look beyond the district, where go look at the country holistically and see how we go able for address issues them where they can. That organization, we don't do a lot of things. When there are outbreaks, because we get different women them from different areas, we get lawyers, we get doctors, we get nurses, we get market women there, we get politicians. We can rush can together, identify the problem, go into the district, and say how we will help them. We don't do where school don't born, for example, in Moyamba district. We go in, we try for put things there together and support for make sure say that school they grab back. We don't do where they don't rape woman. We go in and make sure say we support the person with lawyer, make sure say we dey behind government until the person get justice. We don't also they go into schools. Throughout all the district, both Bonds, Moyamba, Kujeo, we always they visit the schools, especially girls' schools. When they go na co-educational school, but we can concentrate more on girls' school. For go tell them about the sexual reproductive health and rights. For go empower them. Because one thing what we don't see is most of them picking here, their parents they know they talk to them, right? So they learn from social media, then they learn from peers them. So we believe say as woman them, when we self na mama them, when we self na sister them, we for go in and try for engage them picking and give them educational materials. We can buy books, we can go some picking and we can even give money, then we can give them sanitary pads, we can give them toiletries, just for encourage them. And we try for make them see we as mentors, as role models, for show them say we come up from them humble beginning. Most of who they in their position they are delicate. They will people they not be high up there. Some of we now work bring we can free to. So we try for let them say so you can still in a village, you can still in a boy, you can still in a bond, then you be somebody. And we also they empower them, they give them a career pathway, we talk to them about that. And then we also empower them. Some people then they want to go into politics. We get people like Nasu Fofana, we're in a strong woman supporter for APC. We get parliamentarians there from both eyes, we're not part of it. But one thing what we know is that when we are together, we talk about development, we talk about women's issue. If you're interested in your politics, it's outside. Because we want for make sure say this organization continue. And we are happy about it that this organization also don't take during the previous regime, it still survive. If they under this regime, it still they survive, we still they well. This year we get with AGM na freedom. Normally that both we can go, they go to regional headquarters now. But we decide for get an freedom. Because during with AGM, it's also an opportunity for empower ourselves. Where you they bring women them where they can talk to we as members on how we go able move the organization go before, on how we go able for do we self as an organization able for assess the situation and see how we go able for address it. So we they bring in senior people that are this country. We get they look get the gender lens, they see how we can bring man there on board for help with and support we for response. So that's what we are doing. This year also we get with general election. Okay. The interesting part of we organization, leadership will rotate them. They not be from one district. Like the outgoing president of organization, na both district e comot. So we dey expect say this year the president for comot Bo, the vice president for comot Moyamba, then all the other positions dem go be filled from different districts. Kuje sef we dey expect say dem dey come in around for the PRO. So that's how we operate. But we focus is on women and girls. And we try for make sure say, because most of people can say, una only freedom. That's not correct. I want to make that clear. That we sister them within at the district right for being member of the organization. Because one forget it, brother base at district level. Because we not going to able go na district for go implement activities. But we get two members in the district where if we they get at the money, or get that money, we send them to them, then we do skills training, then we're able for make sure say they go visit the picking them at school. Then when they see issues, they escalate. So we when they free to we go able for come and see usa will for knack for their action will be taken. Now equally also say that we get members that out of this country. We get members that we na diaspora where they self can send their own support. Because we want one thing we want for do is we want for empower women in such a way that if we even if it not be 50-50 man then 50 woman then 50, but at least not get 40-30. Yesterday I go for the civic award ceremony. I dey look at the awardees, the one that we get award. One thing we me see personally, it was about don't say about 30. You have about less than 7 women in that 30. So what you want for see long empowerment in such a way that with this there, if there's so one the best caterer, we go to the south, you forget her. If there's so one the best engineer, we go to the south, you forget her. If they say you want to forget the best woman, when they sit down and marry those, you for able pull another district. So we they make sure so we empower picking them from when they're small, and we they try this year for bring younger people, there, younger in the sense adolescents. Because one thing as an adolescent specialist, we believe say they feel free for talk to themselves more than us, the mama them, the auntie them. But when you get the younger one them, then they able to talk to them, and then they able feedback to me now saying, now this not the problem, oh, how una go able help this pikin and this they go through, how una go able come in and go talk to the parents then let them see reason and change. So that's what the organization is about. It's purely a woman organization and it's purely for women from Bo, Bond, Moyamba, Kujo.
So make we zero in into the AGM where they are the pipeline. What's not the focus is there?
We think this year na for empower women and girls for address gender-based issues. We it's a that call am 2.5 day AGM. We dey go in it's a residential. We dey go in on Friday. Then part of the day we get to annual work plan. We dey go review and look at wetin we don do, how we don reach, and what are the challenges. For example, we dey build a multi-purpose training center, Nabo. We have over how many acres of land, we get building material. So we want for go sit down and see wetin we don do because next year it will be 10 years. So one that 10 year for get something we know say this is what we've achieved. We also dey look at Wusan, the districts we really need we more because it's Bo, Bont, Moyamba, Kuje, now 4 districts. But you have some districts who are way down compared to the others in terms of women's empowerment, in terms of women education. It's so interesting for no say we don't cross go Bont Island severally for go really empower because this na one district where we don't go, we don't find out say pikin dem dey go school, they tap put man house. Not those mama and papa now to man the dress in the morning, he go school. So our presence there make like the comrade say this is not correct. If you really wanted to speak here, I know they talk married woman, there in the school. Let it do under parents and guardians. And so when we go the AGM, we go look at that. Then we go also set another target before we general election. Because we want continuity, we want for make sure say we bring in an executive we go able for take off from Musa with it. And we want for make sure say we continue for empower the guard picking them where they come up from them the streets. Some people they don't remember by marriage. To tell a man, na boy comot or a man na puje o. Some of who we lucky, who say comot na don't man dem comot, so we no get problem. You go get some woman wey na member of SPONET, na member of Southern Eastern Province Women's Network. Because I say na East Born, or can school na bo, a married na bo, so I dey join SPONET. So we dey go really sit down for this AGM, look at what we've achieved so far as an organization, identify the gaps, look at our annual plan, because for the annual plan, we have set targets. Wetin we for do, how many funds we don raise, wetin are some of the challenges that we will face, then we'll try for see how we go address them.
And also, although I like to say the network non-political one, but again, talk about women empowerment. The political participation, another way again, when they can empower women, the way at least we have to drive change. Because we get somebody that's in a position of trust, where at least we're able to bring change through influencing the political government of that system at the time. But now they work around the areas and they
Yes, we do, but we don't make a primary focus. Normally, when elections can come, we can see we members then can say, I dey go stand for MP, I dey go stand for councillor, I dey go stand for this. What we do is we dey give you with blessing. If you get the one dem wey una all comot at the same area, we believe in your cause, they support you in your campaign. But as an organization, we don't take it as if, yes, we dey for SLPP, yes, we dey for APC, so we dey go for go campaign for APC. We don't do that. We don't at all. Now make I give example of Nansu Fofana. Nansu is a strong APC supporter. Where in a social media, we can applaud. Say, Nansu, you are doing extremely well. We wish you well. A guy own caucus where the supporter in that. Another person, Tina Davis. Now, in fact, they start the organization. They get who that will support them. We get women in a parliament where they are MPs. We get women in a different positions there. So we can make them use their platform. Like, for example, we went for this Giwi Act. We were fully part of the preparation as an organization. Then we also use with membership in parliament for lobby. Say, but we make let this thing pass. We not self na woman, we not this organization. No. Another issue, this Zainab Sharif in case. Zainab Sharif as a woman, all the women organization, yes, we look at the pros and cons, but with our voice, we'll be part of the people that will say, okay, let we write and ask the president for let it be pardon. So we do participate really, but with participation, it's not the ones that you say this organization is supporting a political party.
And you mentioned the rape on our area, on ourselves, for FET, and I can provide legal support. And now, almost seeing the challenge where the government and partners, the battle to get to do with drug business and push. You see, very common among women. Then the result of the show now, thank God you be a medical somebody, and also you don't follow results. Then they show the woman they involved into this kind of thing. Not talk about it all. We maybe into the way want to education about the region, more often activities in the now they also work in that area, they addressing that.
We do. We dey work. Now make I tell you, say we always dey engage the schools and out of school guys, both in school and out of school. And when we dey go na school, we have key issues that we will go with. Like when you talk about this drug abuse, nothing wey dey work with all. We get colleagues that we picking them. They affect even the organization where they picking them don't go into drugs. So what we dey do is we are blessed. An organization is so blessed that we have women from different specialties. We have lawyers, we have nurses, we have doctors. So when we see the issues, like for example, if it has to do drug abuse, me and one person way they lead that team dey. Or say, okay, Patricia, what will they go so? This not the thing. How are we going to address it? And one thing back where they lead to most of them problem here, now the parenting aspect. We find out say we have young girls picking they give born picking. When picking born picking, you find out say it's difficult for that picking they able to take care of himself, let alone. So we also try very hard for push positive parenting. But let the parents then will say you still have an obligation to the pikin. If you pikin make mistakes if you born, you get that obligation for guidance. If you pikin there in drugs, pikin a push and pull, you get for bring and can. So we really they focus also on drugs, they focus on because now when some of them can get on drugs, then they abuse them. So say you don't take it down in kush or you don't drink in such a way. The man they around there, they use them no more how they left them. So you get for look at we can also now look at this with AGM, we dey do what we call root bone analysis. We dey really go deep dive and see wetin are the cause. Is it drugs? How are they getting the drugs? The woman they sell the same drugs. It will surprise you. Bowl, for example, I'm glad you mentioned drugs. We go bowl inside the market, inside the grain cassava leaf. Now then they sell the drugs. So when dem police dem no go na the outskirts inside dem feel say na dem put, it is within the market space. You get woman dem wey sit down, dem get the drugs. But until you go in, and na we woman dem more dey go na market, na im make we able fish out some of the information dem dey and tell the police dem say una therefore waste una time na the boat. Dem know say una dey carry, una go inside the market. And go na one area wey go inside the green cassava leaf, most of dem guy dem wey dey there. And one thing also wey we really need for look at what we see as an organization where I'm happy that we dey able reach up. There are a lot of compromise with the authorities, the police. Because if you don't identify the source, you're expecting them for go arrest or how the case they come out. And anytime we go, we dey send people that they really can't tell we say, look, I don't go by. So as an organization, we look at the issues, we try to know the cause, the root cause, then we see how would they address that. And also we try for raise funds. This is not an organization we get funding from any partner. For example, UNFP, UNICEF, no. We fund ourselves. It is mandatory. Say every month, Patricia, you salary some for going to school.
It is part of my long-term planning. Say,
Of course,
look of support from
with
them
time,
organizations.
yes. Being somebody wey don dey work with partners, you therefore go wetin you dey show before you go big. Dem go ask you say wetin you don do, how far you don go, how far you don reach. So most times we tell ourselves say let's contribute first. Let them come and see. Like when we dey build that we resort center na bowl, when we don done that day, we dey invite partners then now say this is what we have. How una go help una when dem pikin how dey come for training, how dem go get the training materials, how dem go get this. But for now, from what we establish and to who we don reach, it's our money. I want to put some money there until we get a tangible thing wey we say una can now can support you. Because partners dem now know wetin dey happen at the world. If you not get thing for sure, they're not going to able come in for support.
All right, we'll continue for the weekly and now Dr. Patricia Ba, when the public relations officer for the Southern Province Women's Network, they tell with the kind of networking, the work where they do for women in the Alpikin them na bo Bond Moyamba and Pujiong and the Southern region especially. But then we can take a break now, take some commercials, and when we come back, we get now the studio. Obai Kamara from Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum, where you can talk to you about a conference, the founder, and also get Kate Conti Senge, where now the co-chair for Advisory Council will give you updates on the transformation of the Miata conference for becoming Miata Civic Center. Well, we will talk more on that one day, but let me take a short break, take some commercials, and we will come right back.
So wetin you do when you share? Make a begin use learning passport for study. Wetin are the learning passport? Well, learning passport na one app wey the Ministry of Basic Education with support from UNICEF don come with, and it gets past question and answer wey dey make am easy for we pikin dem to study and pass exams. Look, na the learning passport me bobo dey use for study, and it dey try small. Well, this na big opportunity for me pikin dem. Me say Go try get this learning passport app so that me Bobo will get all the past exam questions and answer the way in need. Go to Google Play Store now and download the MBSSE Learning Passport for free. You know they pay anything. Mama, Papa, let we help we picking them. Forget the Learning Passport app. By this, we go help for prepare them well for the exams. Use the Learning Passport app today and pass your exam tomorrow. This message comes from the Ministry of Basic Education with support from UNICEF. Education.
We dey look for best betting experience. Register with 1xBet today and enjoy when you register with 1xBet. I say, then go give you 200% bonus by your first deposit. And when you complete your registration, side we then go ask you for put your official promo code. Just put AMS232. 1xBet. Try get on your phone. 1xBet get fine game them like casino game, card game, and they all get sober winning. They get football, basketball, tennis, and boku other one them with live updates. Register with your phone and make sure say you register with valid ID card. And when you done your registration, screenshot them for Bambai. You can withdraw and deposit with Colat, with Orange Money, Afri Money, 1xBet Cash, Mastercard, or Visa Card. 1xBet, they sponsor La Liga, Serie A, League One, Confederation of African Football, and a partnership with FC Cologne. That not done, then get them brand ambassador them like Yemata, the Laughing Matter, Crack Twist and Zamza, Robino, the comedian, and plenty other one them. 1xBet, play on today, forget you're winning. And not forget to bet responsibly. The office in Lumley Beach Road by Empire Night Club. But if you're not able to reach there, call on a telephone number 076 100 338 or 078 206 171. 1xBet, I'll win you this week.
You don't listen to Morning Coffee live from SLBC Radio FM 99.9. Now broadcasting house na Freetown. We SLBC regional station them and we partner radio station they all about the country. Radio station they like a Voice of Women Amatujong. Radio station they like a Universal Radio FM 98.9 na Freetown. Tongo Radio 107.5 FM na Tongo Phil, Loa Bambara Chief na Kenema District. Jaluau Community Radio na Shegboema. Voice of Bambara na Pendemu. Radio Jala na Jala University. Radio Bankasoka na Potloko. Radio Bontiko na Bonchabwell. Radio Kori FM 103.3 na Tayama 107.1 FM. Voice of Youth na Songo. And Radio Sawa 101.3 FM na Soa Chief na Kono District. Zimi Radio na Makwele Pujong. Radio Wanjama na Pujong. Voice of Kisitongi Radio FM 97.7 na Boedutong. Kailaon District. Solena Agriculture Radio FM 92.7. Boedu na Kailaon. Mogbema Agriculture Radio FM 106.9 na Blama. Small Boat Chiefdom. And Kisibendu Radio na Koindu Kailaon Sef. Daily Morning Coffee.
I'm Margaret Bull, Administrative Secretary at International School. I like listening to Morning Coffee. Morning Coffee, very important. It gets so many important issues of the day we listen to. In and out of the country, if finally we all listen to Morning Coffee.
Welcome you back to the second part of the program, Morning Coffee, where they meet you from Salon Broadcasting Corporation of Freetown and all the other radio stations there. Where the link and also you go get with live Facebook page. And the Facebook page now SLBC Radio 99.9 FM. Well, we go come in the studio and at Saturday, so we get two other guests there for talk to. But we talk to Obai Kamara from the Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum, when I the founder. We they talk about a reciprocal Sierra Leone Finland Scandinavia Nordic Europe Conference where for happen in Salon. But what in this relationship here today about we will find out, and how important it is for big to the development of the country. The founder they for tell we will talk more on that one day, and also we also get to talk to Kate Conti this Senge. But then good morning, Mr. Obai.
Yes, good morning.
All right, so give a background to this Sierra Leone Finland investment for the relationship how it come about.
Thank you very much, first of all, for having me. The Sierra Leone Finland investment from a template where me and the team craft or um, really encourage with government institutions then, like embassies and also Sierra Leonean diasporas out there for make we see how we can help for develop the country, by bringing companies investment. Because I feel say Sierra Leone in better one, it in we all and we roll them we get for play, not a small one at all. So whatever little we do for your country, it will go a great way. So now that make we craft that and we don't get this investment for we don't serve as a template for several years and now we get a lot of Finnish, Scandinavia and Nordic Europe companies and we say can wait or can make sure say it's in all water. So we can prepare the ground and the companies themselves they are good or can yes make the difference because waiting we see we country they go to not only poverty but now abject poverty and me and you get the responsibility for combat that by providing the necessary job opportunity for the people that out there and alleviate or even eradicate the poverty. So this particular investment program, one we make sure say we bring the government of Sierra Leone and the government of Finland. You know, in fact, the then Sierra Leone proposed consul to the Republic of Finland and the current president of the Sierra Leone Finland Friendship Society. So looking at the particular opportunities that they are around me, I feel it's necessary for give back to Mama Sierra Leone.
But so you don't do work with all the relevant stakeholders and governments and other authorities, then both of Finland and Sierra Leone for this development and enabling environment so the investments there so when they will come, then will be sustainable in the country.
Yes, of course, of course. Like I just mentioned, say, the two governments involved, as well as the private sector, because this particular arrangement is based more on private sector involvement, from the Finnish government angle. Because waiting happen, Finland need to craft them Africa strategy, as the NCF one for penetrates in Africa, then I may be one of the people that we may craft, may be part of the team for craft that particular strategy up to a ratification stage. So looking at the opportunity that Finland want come Africa, I feel say me no go sit down at them kind table and they are not think about the green, white, and blue.
That's some of the projects and the investment project and the way we hope to go reach now. So
well, I mean, I would say that now we come with two financial institutions, two banks. One we never start the bank from scratch, another one for buy an existing bank or partner with an existing bank for expansion. We just feel a small way you say even Union Trust Bank don't go under okay commercial bank. But we feel say we self able to try to initiate some discussion around that to see whether we were able to buy it back. Yes, because okay commercial bank now okay commercial bank, Union Trust Bank now Union Trust Bank. And we get mining companies, so in a large scale mining companies, we get two energy companies. One, we MET Million and can already sign an agreement with the Ministry of Energy, but because of the irregularity with the arrangement of the car powership and the government of Sierra Leone, and also something we may get for relate to the Ivorian government and Sierra Leone government in terms of energy setting. They bring some small shake, but we try to put that in place. And also we get another company where they can purposely for can construct the mini grids because there are a lot of companies, we're an energy related company right now in that country, but insufficient mini grids, the connection. So we get that particular company, we don't discuss with, where they come, by the grace of God, we all go make Sierra Leone better because even God, the first thing we do for create the universe na lights. So lights very much
Okay,
important.
we know say from what you don't talk some of them investment project and therefore go now the just like the mining and all. But how you for scatter around the country because we know so they talk about this large scale youth and unemployment and where then kind development has to come, people then go get employed and all of that. Now therefore how they don't the plan now for make they not only inside Freetown.
Well, what I did tell you about now, like 27 companies, and we dey expect more for join. And we just dey look at we know how to put round pegs in square holes. Who side the project called for be implemented, and they will decide. So we know mixed regionalism, sectionalism, or tribal. Who side the project good for because we get large scale agricultural project we about on two scale. One 10,000 hectares we right now na Bond Island. That's the process they on, and we get also funding for SMEs. We involved in the agricultural sphere. We 3 years loan grant, sorry, for for capacitate them, and we get real estate companies na the basket. So we just bet for decentralized and so Sierra Leone and Sierra Leoneans all over the country will benefit equally.
Okay, so now let me talk about the conference because the groundwork they do now, and we therefore expect this conference that will therefore happen. What thing we dey look forward to?
Well, we dey look forward to concrete partnership for development because we no go able to do am alone. And even the Europeans, they look for partnership, with African companies because now that the arrangement of the Finnish government to the foreign ministry of Finland and the Finn partnership that okay, when we approach them, say, well, this time we want to make Finland extend an olive branch to Sierra Leone. And say, okay, that's good. We will make an allocation of good amount of money for Sierra Leone. So that allocation has already been made, understand? And they give them threshold where each Finnish company, first of all, a part of your capital, any Finnish company we want for can invest in Sierra Leone specifically, they get 75% grant of in total capital. Okay. And for BC, the Finnish company for able to partner with a local company in Sierra Leone. So the kind of public-private partnership approach, then we also see you play.
Okay, how this also go inspire we Salon brother and sister them where they in the Western country them, the European nations then they for make themselves come and give back to Sierra Leone or invest in Sierra Leone.
Well, now that's make Adenaya for inspire with people, Sierra Leone brothers and sisters, for make we set up companies and institutions for transform the country. If you go around, you will see the Chinese they don't take over, Nigerians they don't take over, the Indians, Sierra Leoneans don't turn with their subject. Always we meet them people and they say, why we not for be masters, of we own jurisdiction because Sierra Leone na for Sierra Leoneans. Of course, we dey invite other people and for can invest. It good, don't get me wrong, but we self therefore craft way and means for make we self dey na the fault. Because if government they talk about public-private partnership, it's like the private sector don't be like internationalized. So it's like government they work with foreigners. So why we know you can fill the private space so that we self will for be masters of we also. But the most important thing na how we dey bring we brothers them back home because some of we don't make boku money na Europe, but some man is afraid because if you don't give him brother for do business, then brother deeper. So that now another thing. How we for be honest, to people that really fight for calm, transparency, support them meaningfully for the betterment of Sierra Leone. If you brother go na the 10th floor, he must call you for coming and you one day. Also we'll talk back na the same 10th floor. So now that make with the craft is reciprocal Sierra Leone, Finland, Scandinavia, and Nordic Europe conference na Freetown. Because all over 13 government delegations we made on Finland, and a lot of Finnish people and non-Finnish people that don't bring Ghana in the country. So now for cement the duplex, the dual kind of movement. So now the investment forum, the Canada, then we inspire our brothers there and we they now the middle level manpower job, you want the way high class una come. If you're not messing up, you get your small company they can open you could employ people then because again, if we left everything to government, that means we don't left everything to we self because now we are the government. Government of the people, for the people, and by the people. And we are the people.
All right, thank you. Continue for with three, Mr. Kamara Obai Kamara, when the founder for the Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum. They talk about the kind strives them way don't they make, and also governments of Salon and Finland don't they make for make we get foreign direct investment for Salon. We go can talk to another guest now with we now the studio. We can talk about the transformation of Miata Civic center and the vision for that place they for become a civic center, and for that we go can talk to the co-chair advisory council. We go give update on how the work on the carry on, and now Kate Conti Senge. Good morning, a pleasure for get you this morning as this morning coffee.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and well done with my name. I know it's heavy.
Yeah.
You did well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So tell with Fambo, I don't know will they talk the Creole?
Small, yeah.
Okay,
And
that
area.
the area.
Yeah.
Because I know say the other local languages if they try.
Small.
They try small. Okay.
I'm still learning.
You're still learning.
Yes.
Okay, so now we talk about this because we know say you know somebody we're very keen on culture and arts, and now the focus now for transform Miata Conference Center to a civic center. Why that moved in?
So thank you very much for having me this morning.
Mhm.
And I think maybe just to back up for those who may not be fully aware of the background about Miata
Yeah.
Civic Center,
Mhm.
it's of course what has been known as Miata Conference Center. It's based inside the UE building compound that I think in the 70s or so was built in collaboration with the government of China in terms of building public infrastructure. And over the last 18 months or so, 2 years, it has come under the purview of the Ministry of Information and Civic Education.
Mhm. Thank you.
And under the leadership of the minister, to carry out the vision of His Excellency the President, to create a space, physical infrastructure for civic and public life. And civic life is somehow what we've been talking about this morning, actually. It's not the work just of government, it's not private sector business. It's that work of making our society better, that requires all of us. And that kind of work, whether through training, learning, teaching, investments, organizing, learning, whatever it is, requires physical space. So the idea of the Miyata Civic Center is that it becomes a space not just for conferences and events, it will still be that space, but also a place for people to come together and participate in civic life. Maybe workshops, learning and training, maybe different kinds of building or making activities. There's an indoor space, there's an outdoor space. It's a resource, a physical resource for civic life. That's the whole idea of the place. So yes, it does have to do with arts, culture, tradition, and heritage. It is a place for those things. And it's also a place for digital innovation. It's also a place for learning and exchange. It's meant to be a place for people from all walks of life across Sierra Leone. That's the vision of the transformation.
So how far we don't go now in terms of putting all the infrastructure, all the ideas together for making this become a reality?
Okay. I like how the minister and the ministry approached this from the beginning. When the physical site came under the purview of the ministry, he wanted to convene advisors, a council of people from across creativity and the arts, from civic and social impact, from technology, from the private sector, to advise the ministry about how to bring about this transformation. We all know that one person alone isn't going to have all of the ideas. And so he brought together a really incredible group of volunteers, everybody's a volunteer, including myself, to try to advise not just on how do we implement this vision, what's the strategy for that, but also what do we do about the physical space. This is very granular things like the air conditioning, the plumbing, the electricity, the quality of the infrastructure there. What do we do about the programming, how to make this place come alive on a daily basis, become the beating heart of civic life, at least in Freetown, and how to think about the sustainability of it moving forward. And so that's been the task of this advisory council. One of the first things that we did was we said, well, let's ask the public. So we put out a survey for people to share not just their ideas about what should happen in this space, but their memories of the place. This is a place that holds collective memory. From the decades that it's been open across governing administrations for all kinds of different purposes. And people submitted so many different ideas. A lot of people have a lot of different ideas about what to do in the place. Some people want to see senior citizen activities on a regular basis. Some people want to see the National Dance Troupe offer classes there. Some people want to use the kitchen for cooking, training, and learning. Some people think we should have mindfulness and meditation classes. Some people think it's a great space for regular group counseling for younger people or any segment of society. So there's so many different ideas about how to make use of this space, and also things like, please fix the plumbing in that place. Please make sure it can be a cool, climate-controlled environment. And so what the advisory council has done in collaboration with the ministry is just try to systematically go through those things. There's an existing contract that they inherited in place to finalize the HVAC, the heating and cooling in this space. That's a process that's underway. The lobby area is now cool. Some of the other spaces, we still have to fix the AC in the main auditorium. That's still an uncomfortable space to sit, and we're working on that. The plumbing, some of it is underway, others of it still needs to be repaired. But there is power that can sustain, events. We have 2 full generators that are working really well. It would be great to add solar component to that to manage changeover over the grid. And one of the most important things that the minister really wanted to make sure was different from Miyata Civic Center is the way that people make requests to use it. He really wanted to make sure that those requests come through a central, online, transparent booking request system. Not you have to know somebody at the ministry to make a request to the minister for it to happen. And so we've also completed that, and it's launching this week. A booking request system that you can find on the OneGolf platform, where you do other online government services, where you can make a request to say, this is the kind of event that I want to do. Here are my dates. These are the spaces I think I want to use. This is the program. And you can submit the request, and then the ministry can see, are these spaces available? Is this an appropriate use of this space? And can we help make sure that this person can
Okay, so what's in more this would do for culture, for civic, for national development? What's it actually this go do for improve especially arts in the country?
So one of the things, I'm a musician, and so one of the things that really attracted me to getting involved in this project is the fact of that auditorium. I really can see a vision for that space becoming a world-class space for performance. And to get there, we have to invest in it. And so that's another thing that's kind of exciting. The ministry has an agreement with the Embassy of China. Remember, China helped to build this building back in the 70s, I believe. So under this agreement, they're going to be putting in upgraded audio and visual equipments into the auditorium space to make it a place where things sound good, look good, enable, as you said, arts, culture, whether it's theater or dance or drama, traditional performance, contemporary performance, whatever it is, to have a space for that to happen, to be shared. And there's more that we need to do in that space. I don't know if you've been there recently, but all the seats are on one level. We need to bank the seats so that people farther back have an easier time of seeing this space. It would be nice to work a little bit with the space so that it's more multifunctional with the stage setup and everything like that. These are things that we can do over time, especially if people keep booking Miata, because the resources that we get from those bookings we put back into upgrades in the physical space. So all culture, all creativity, all art needs physical space. It's just one of the baseline pillars of a creative economy. Yes, we need financing for the arts. We need intellectual property protection. We need learning and training. We need physical space for people to come together in cultural
So,
connection.
Kate, how will the Minister of Tourism, have a niche in this kind of arrangements? Because when you talk about culture, talk about art, we are talking about the Minister of Culture and Tourism,
Yeah.
and already, that ministry, has a project which is the Cultural Arts Project at Longley or Aberdeen going on. So, how will the ministry, see itself in
Yeah.
this kind of arrangements?
Yeah, you're right. They're one of the most critical actors, I think, in this transformation. And in fact, when the minister brought together the advisory council, he also made sure that stakeholder ministries have representation on the council. So the PS of the ministry wrote to all the other ministries to request representatives to the council, and I'm sure the Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs will be appointing somebody quite soon for that position. We have representation from the Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation around the digital innovation side of things. NACED is there. That's, of course, a National Commission on Civic Education. That's an important part of this as well. So lots of different government agencies are also been in the mix in terms of advising how things should happen.
Do you think the META has that kind of capacity, because you highlighted several activities that are on the part, or maybe might be kicking off within that premise? Looking at the structure, do you think that center has the capacity to kind of implement all these ideas you mentioned?
It does, if it has something very important in place, which is proper managerial and operational kind of management, basically. And that's why I'm also very glad that another member of the advisory council, UNDP, they've invested previously in the ministry and the Nyanta Civic Center. They're coming in to support something that's very critical that you don't see from the physical infrastructure, which is the team of people who are making sure that it's clean, it's well lit, things are functioning, it's secure. When you pay for a service there, you get what you pay for. So they're coming in to provide some support, kind of bridge funding for 6 months to put coordination capacity in place. So Miata Civic Center will soon be releasing a terms of reference for a coordinator, and then a number of what we're calling Miata Civic Center Fellows. These are people who are volunteers with a small stipend to look at the different aspects, whether marketing, community engagement, facilities, digital innovation, whatever the case may be, to have a team of people who's responsible for really shepherding it. The long-term vision is for Miata to be a public-private trust, to be something that, of course, is a government asset, but managed by an independent third-party public-private trust that can really develop all of the structures of sustainability that are necessary for the long term.
The Miata Center is not only hosting conferences,
Right.
during the drives, for example, November, December, throughout January, when the rain used to be a place of different activities.
Yeah.
For example, now we have our local Tangis,
Mhm.
which used to be held in that place because the national stadium is still under reconstruction.
Mhm.
So these kind of activities and organizations, how we did have the opportunity again to undertake this kind of programs activity because from explanation it seems like the sets are going to be like 247 running activities.
So, and it's interesting that you bring up Tangais. That was kind of the vibe, to me at least, of the civic festival that the ministry has held now two years in a row around the whole space there. So the Miata Civic Center, it's a civic space. It's not a private space, right? And so that means there are a clear set of purposes of use for the space. Youth learning activities, cultural activities, things that have to do with civic life together. And there's a service charter that governs the usage of the space for what purposes, by what kind of actors, under what terms, with what rates. That service charter is going to be live on the platform where you can make a booking request so you can educate yourself as to whether the purpose of the event that you have in mind is a fit with Miata. Miata is not going to be a place for weddings and birthdays, right? But it will be a place for investment fora or trainings about different kinds of things, or workshops, or outdoor festivals that are civic in nature. So we really want people to share their ideas with us. Hey, I think I could do this really cool event. It looks like this. Here's the agenda. Here's the registration of my organization so that you know I'm a real person trying to book this space. And then on the back end, the ministry team can evaluate, does this meet the standards of our service charter? Is the space that they want big enough for the crowd that they're expecting? Is the place actually available, et cetera, et cetera?
So do you also take into consideration that center is hosting several government ministries, departments, and agencies wherein they are doing their daily activities. So what will be the kind of arrangement for those ministries and agencies? Because many times or every day when you go to the matter, you see vehicles of these department agencies parking within that area.
Yeah.
So what is also the arrangement for these ministries and MDs operating within that?
You recall when they had the Civic Fest, they had to move all the vehicles out of the compound in order for that. That requires coordination. And that's one of the reasons we want to have this online transparent booking request system. If we have at a glance a full understanding of how everybody wants to use this space, if we know who can be flexible, if we know this event is going to be very loud, this event is going to be very quiet, that allows us to manage the full physical infrastructure available to try to meet everybody's needs. And it requires planning and advanced coordination. Obviously, if there's going to be an event that takes up the entire parking lot, which you can book through Miata, that needs to be coordinated and planned in advance.
All right, away from the civics now, let's talk about you. I've heard you, I've seen you play guitar or something, some beautiful instruments, and I've also seen you dance. You can dance beautifully.
Thank you.
And David, I believe you are fond of guitar.
Oh,
Are
I
you a
love the.
guitarist?
I want to.
Okay,
I want
want to. Okay, maybe
I
the
want
opportunity
to.
that
Yeah,
it will be.
I could be trained. I'm willing to be trained.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us, where does this passion comes from?
Okay.
Being in terms of this artistic nature that you have.
Thank you for this question. And as long as you're alive, you can learn how to play an instrument. So maybe today is your day to start. I grew up in a very musical home. In fact, I remember hearing that my grandfather could play the piano by ear. That was just that they had that kind of musicianship in the family. And I grew up learning how to play the piano. When I was in high school, I did all of the singing things I could do. I was in choir. I was taking private voice lessons. I had an opportunity to go to conservatory, music school, and decided to kind of go to liberal arts. But I've always kept that musical sort of me in different ways. And the dancing, when I was living in New York City after college, I wanted to get a good form of exercise. I wanted to stay healthy and I wanted to do something fun. And I came across a dance class and I decided to sign up for it and found that it was great exercise. It completely cleared my mind and it was something very different than what I was doing. So I started exercising in that way. I joined a dance company when it held some auditions at some point, did a little bit of touring for a couple of years with a dance company. And then also sort of put that aside as I became a parent and life changed and everything like that. But I believe that arts and culture are actually key to our future. These are forms of our social interaction in society that are not just about enjoyment, although that's important, relaxation, fun, connection. They're also about ways of carrying history and carrying heritage. And I believe that when we look at those societies that are really thriving, they're very protective of their culture, whether their arts and culture or their cultural heritage, because they know from within the culture there's sources of transformation, there's sources of innovation, and there's collective wisdom as well. So I think that culture is good for your health. People who do music and dance, they're healthier over the longer term. It's good for social connection. It's a way to bring people together, reinforce relationships. And it's also good for our economy. There are so many opportunities for earning around creativity if we put some of these structures in place. Physical infrastructure, as I mentioned, is one of those things. There are other forms of economic infrastructure that can come together around creativity to make it a segment of our economy that really gives something back to our overall GDP. So, yeah.
And I must confess, I always admire your steps and your moves. Okay, guys, we continue to stay with us. Let's.
So is that Davida, you're just trying to say that Kate will give us some performances? So our viewers watching through the
Well, maybe through songs.
Yeah, I'll put together my own booking request form. You can book me. But I always love to learn new songs and new dances from anybody, anywhere. So if we meet somewhere in public and you want to teach me something, teach me. I love to.
So what kind of songs are you used to?
So I write music, and the music that I've been writing recently is, I would say, singer-songwriter. So I'm a pianist, I produce music as well, and I work with a lot of colleagues here in Freetown, Sierra Leonean musicians as well, to come up with different fusion sounds.
Afrobeats or these other
I just released a song with Ahmed Kamara, who's a wonderful Mandingo Jeliba, like griot singer, and we wrote a song called Find Your Way Home. That's kind of a fusion of that and some contemporary sounds. The song we released before that is with Donnie Major, who's an incredible, he does all kinds of music, actually. He's the composer of the song Freetown and other songs. We wrote a song called Back Home together. So yeah, there's so much creativity just present around us all the time. And my goal is to try to help build the structures that reinforce it, support it, and help it to grow and connect into global markets.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Okay, so I'll come back to Southern Women Network. So, Dr. Ba, one of the text messages they will get, they commend Una for the good work Una they do for especially for connect communities, then the women then together for development purpose. But then also they say they want for make Una continue for do more because he also appreciate the fact say Una they try for mentor young people. Then talking about what Una see na born where the picking them day to the different I don't know I say the man but then the opposite sex then they go school. So how much more una go to do? Because the question they ask say for sister una way get experience woman them for go to them one day we need guidance for continue for where they see guidance for help them out for making them themselves know how for fend themselves.
Thank you very much. When we go na the districts, before we even go na the district, they engage the women's group all the women organization, we engage the teachers. As I tell you, one thing what we organization to do is for us to be grounded in our district. That Patricia dey bonds, dey bonds, Sponet member for dey bonds, wey for constantly dey monitor wetin we don put in place. Then, for example, identify them pikin dem wey dem dey share house with man dem wey no to dem parents, then dem dey go school. We try forget the woman dem, the teachers dem involve, parents dem tell dem say, bonds na be one district wey dey produce excellent woman dem. Wey most, if you look from the head of state dem, most of them dey wey friend about district dem pull am. Pasheki, if you begin dey look dem, Mudebomo dem, dem comot na the south, most of them wey friend. So we try for make sure say we get them and meet them there. When they constantly dey check on them pikin dem, identify some of them pikin dem. A typical example, you pikin go secondary school, you no get person for stay with. So tell the uncle and auntie wey dem send am to, na different work dem wan go put the pikin pass. So the pikin go find somebody. So we have people grounded wey dey at the tongue dem for make sure say dem dey engage. We also make a point of duty for visits. We not just left them no more, because you have to provide oversight. You also get for monitor and supervise wetin dem dey do. So we will get the experience, we will get the knowledge. We also dey make sure say we train the one dem wey dey get for dinner the district. So the one dem wey get for dinner the district, then now we implement wetin we tell them. Say na so if pikin come, you don't get for begin the coerce am for get something. You get for clear the bio am, you get with you the information where you want, and also you seeking consent. Say this is the way we want for go. How you see am, you feel say you go find for no address and this way. Let the pikin see reason why the change, why for left for sell kush, why for left for take kush. So they make sure say we get with members then at the district, we train them, then we they go in and monitor. Then we dey go. In fact, this week AGM they get na freedom. Na decision what we take last minute, because we look at and say the membership large na freedom, and the speakers they will want for use, they're busy na freedom. We not go able move them. But normally we AGM we do na freedom. We dey go apply because while they see we, they're glad. We will come on apply. We will come on a village. We can always let for go back, and we can always let for like weddings, we dey go support them at the village. If na burying, we dey go there. We dey go to whatever. So when they see we, even the picking them, then they come around we. You will give them snacks, you will give them just for let them say, I want to be like Patricia. Me say one for drive motor car kaya na village. So we go, we dey make sure say them woman then at the tongue. We keep them at tongue. We get that relationship with them. That's what we do. Then we try forget younger ones there for be mentors. Because you get younger picking them now before age 21, they don't get first degree. You use them kind of day now for the go to the schools and engage them company. Because when you say, I sabi Aisatu. But by the time Aisatu is 21, I don't know Jala University, you don't know for a big college, you're an engineer. So we can use that and say, we get younger when are medical doctors. We already now picking up say, hey, we want to let you go join the group. Let you go engage. So that's the way we do work for make sure say we not break the chain. Okay, for maintain that chain for reach out.
But again, we'll talk about gender. We look at almost the emphasis in the woman then and the gap between them. The man themselves, I mean, we get a role for play.
Now look at you so we can visit co-education at school. I will give one story of
next time
exactly.
No, we dey use
the man they get a role for play.
The man they get role for play. For actually minus we own money they will they contribute. Minus we own money they will they contribute. We dey ask woman dem, we dey ask brother dem.
Okay,
We get brother dem, yes. We get brother dem wey dey in a certain position. Who they go meet? We say for example, we don identify something. For example, Pujeon district. We know the man dem wey comot Pujeon. They go say una district na so dey happy, dey sit down. Dem go give wetin dem get. If na 5,000, if na 10,000, we go hire them because they are brothers. Then we get the man dem wey want for see we succeed. Na force, so then they go drive cargo, so then the vehicle we go use, so then they go give we fuel. So the man they support we indirectly. But with the woman then, now we did before. Then we dey go na the schools, co-educational schools, where the bobo them, Bobo then they jealous. La put am that way. The Bobo then they look at and say everything na the girl picking. You count sanitary pad na for the girl picking. You count school bag na for the girl picking.
Scholarship come over.
This na the girl picking. So wetin we try for do also, we make sure say we dey engage the Bobo dem. We make sure say dem sef get their own group wey dey give them platform. They go una give me platform. They give the Bobo dem platform for talk. Why this dey happen? The one they go test na the girl picking dem dey come fenway. Na dem dey come na me room. Even while the by still wan come. So we dey able know some of the issues wey so say the girl picking no go tell you, but the Bobo go tell you. You get some body wey bold enough for tell, and they are also champions. You get body wey go talk about reproductive pass the girl picking. We go tell you about teenage pregnancy. We go tell you about issues that way they lead to child labor.
Part of Nigeria can bring the daddy themselves and the traditional setting.
Well, the daddy
them gets a big role for play.
The daddy them can camp and then
gender
discussion.
Teenage pregnancy and other things. Maybe even allow the woman there to be part of honor. Because tradition upline, for any issue that man for take, pass to get a consent from the man say no. Although to that point will get a talent, will get everything we maybe the network will need. But just because the man not to accept. Like you do them engagement.
Yes. The engagement of man and most times the comments they go through their wives. When we get functions, when we get things that way they go on. For example, I they engage me so thing that the way me man they see, it will tell me say this one organization and they make so side, now so thing they happen. How now they bring and cow. So man and the way they get with radio discussion programs, they call. They make their input. Because what we really want for the limited time we will get, we want really engage the direct beneficiaries, the women and the girls. So the man them can either through their wives or through the radio discussion programs or through, as I tell you, say, they work behind the scene. Because the investments we do is huge. We can't do it alone, but the man and the way will tell you, say, this would have organization una they do so. Una forget about Gaga tie dye. Una train some of them picking and then they begin to use computer. If you tell me say that being computer inside Miss Kids lab, you get for help me buy the computer. But at least that they help we for also think out of the box. So man will tell you plain say the mommy the hand and they pan them picking out and the bueno. When you see when you can only get the contribution, we'll get any discussion programs, we'll left and open, we'll let people make their comments. Then for any visits what we do, we can always try for look at the key authorities there inside that district. Most times the paramount chiefs, most times the council. And one thing we're proud of, the Southern Province Women's Network. Now we at the South get the highest number of female paramount chiefs. Now we get the highest number of women they win a paramount chiefs, where educated, where they come with program, where they carry go that the village and the carry go at the district. You hardly see that in the north. You hardly see that in the east. They will tell you woman follow the cool. Inside man kakri. But the southern province, that is the unique part of win at the south. They still the woman fall. They cool past the man kak.
I see the video, the smile. Okay, that's a question. I see the video, the smile, and it's about human business. This gender lens we get.
No, it don't say where, especially in Africa, where woman them issues them.
And I did go do a fan for a boy picking.
Alright. Yes, na boy picking, but still I go always they push for women's and girls empowerment. Okay, so let we come now and take some other few text messages then before we talk to the other guests. And this one said, tell God saying that picking no die, say which kind of wickedness this way this so-called papa do to the picky. He said now doctor where they give injection and if your injection out caustic soda, he said make police run at and so say then fena any way they been back Kamala Kenema saying I'm good initiative. He said, you make more comedy than can at the country. He said, but when they come, they also train salon people them by some of the things that we then they do make salon people not just can be the workman, but they themselves get all the expert knowledge and we then forget Ibrahim Sapa na kind of sena but na rhymes Sir and Sumana Alpha Twana Bo. He say in a founder of a startup Sierra Leone Youth Trade. He say a company limited. He say a small one when they start up. He say then they buy and sell cocoa beans and coffee. He say they even want for be part of this. He say then they do export but finance for expanding business. He say they not get. He say then get employ several youth then at the south. He say how they self go able for get on to you for make themselves be part of this development. Other one say the Miata Civic Space, it say go provide a place for relaxation. It's a very rare in the country, it's a good initiative come up from Abes. Now we go left the text messages, then they come to we guest them, Mr. Kamara. What you make of the text message and what you want for add as we they about for empty the edition.
What I go on for add to what I mean don't say it earlier, not that we want for sister we take a lot of Sierra Leonean companies, formidable companies, for go attend Sierra Leone Finland Investment Forum at Helsinki, Finland on the 27th and 28th of October, come October, because the reciprocal conference with Sierra Leone, Scandinavia, Nordic Europe conference now in November. So if fine for make the companies them within a Sierra Leone and cable for reach me through my email address with kamaraobi03@gmail.com. Usually when we get this investment forum, we can always get some involvement of art and music entertainment, because we take people then from Sierra Leone all the time. You just go sit down for conference, meetings, bilaterals, and all the rest of it. We find for make usually we can take them around on a tour guided kind of program and music. So now that's will make me and my team start the first ever Sierra Leone Reggae Festival, where we start in 2021 and we do them in 2023, and we plan for do them again, because myself also done an internationally recognized reggae musician, the first Sierra Leonean reggae musician with
So,
the
come on, go down to become
yes, because I take me there off. Yes, the level change. Yes.
Rasta Oban.
Yes. So now that and I represent Finland, Northern Europe. So twice ranked, and fortunate for go be the lead singer and the lead Amara Kabine band Holland, because now maybe they run the NGO Sierra Leone, and now we want for institute the Sierra Leone Finland Tourism, Cultural and Educational Center.
These all investments, you're thinking of this country having embassies in Sierra Leone, because that again could be a big boost, case of employment for Sierra Leoneans, maybe also maybe the ties between their countries as well within the Sierra dimension will be kind of open up to Sierra Leone. So it's a good opportunities there.
Okay, okay, God bless you. Waiting me they call on we all, because now we are the government. I always say that, because no point on just the policy makers as the government. May they talk about democracy and me and you involved in governance. Now support, we need support. It's what we can with, not to for can castigate on the power that be, but now for support, complement the effort of the government to the already established medium-term national development plan and the 5 game changes. We all responsibility now for support, because maybe don't try for make Finland government can establish an embassy in Sierra Leone, but that's not mean go to. So the 3 thematic objectives of the last investment forum we coined the Helsinki Accord, because we signed a lot of agreements with the companies. Now, one, for establish the Sierra Leone Finland Tourism, Cultural and Educational Center in Kent Beach. The Ministry of Lands may not give the land already under the purview of the astute minister Turad. Any salary idea, send salute for you, sir. But at the end of the day, another person just got team up and a landing, the case then a court. And the first investor don't go away. How long we forget this kind of donor-driven approach? We therefore encourage for make development come. That for me be an up way the able for host educational practitioners. We want for camp volunteer now with schools, tertiary institutions, and primary schools.
Also, we'll spend time we'll talk on this issue because time they really because they're very interesting. I know say one for the either side. But also the left Madam Ba. So waiting the conference one for achieve at the end, the AGM.
The AGM one for make sure say we improve on we membership. One for improve on we membership. One for make sure say we also are empowered because we are bringing in speakers that we will talk to we on what we should do better so that we go able to reach the unreachable, the one that within the community we need way more. So the AGM also they create an atmosphere for networking. We are all busy women. We in the organization, especially at the higher level where we hardly meet unless we get meetings. So we have a whole evening for let we network, for let we socialize, then let we able for that's a fresh idea we will take come next year. And this is going to be the last AGM in Freetown. We're going to go back now we root.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Patricia Ba, Southern Province Women's Network, and wish you well in our good work on they do for empower women them na the Southern Province. Okay, when we come to Kate Conti Senge, so a way of where will they close the program now? What's actually go out for left in the minds of Salon people then?
So I think regarding Miata Civic Center, this is an exciting time for us to be coming together and contributing to the transformation of a space that's for all of us. So we really want to invite people, excuse me, to use the online booking request system, which should be launching on Friday this week. Excuse me, to use that system to book the space. It may not be perfect, but if you help do an event there, the resources that you spend working together with the team that we have that's really dedicated to making sure it's at the best level possible, those resources are reinvested back into the place. So the next time you come back, oh, the AC now has been fixed in this area. Oh, I see that the window that was cracked has been replaced. I'm understanding there's now a lift in this building. That's actually one of the things that we're waiting on the contractor who's been contracted to provide a lift that makes the space accessible. So we're really working to try to make it be a place that's really open and accessible to everybody. And we all have a role to play in making that happen.
Thank you so much.
I know I think we're talking on the last time.
No, we can't forget some back because we not talk the other side aspect of who's kind local food don't they prepare. we can't forget some back. No, we can talk about in Sierra Leone and nature. What don't they prepare? And permit me if I can say now the wife of the Chief Minister, Dr. David Manina Senge. All right, thank you so much, Kate, where you joined me in the program this morning. We go take a break, Polly.
I don't understand, boo. GI service for good inside Republic of Lion Mountain. Police wants clarification, no. May clarify something for them. Where if he there or you not do na boy blue their ordinance. Police, what is the doubt you buy na boy blue their ordinance? GI service for good. Police say one no. Wetin the white sleeve boy blue officer they mean by booking no. The white sleeve officer don't tell the driver or the rider say booking for book. GI wetin that mean ba? And who's party then at the boy blue ordinance ba? Police say that word he come on and the white sleeve boy blue officer them motto to the rider and then driver them in and out of the capital city. White sleeve say na for book early in the morning or during the day. Police. If you don't see GI for the GI answer, you know your GI answer. Do you know go ask me the 001? You don't ask me there 0, 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10. You said before that I can go gear 1, 2, 3, 4, reverse back and go backward, forward. Nobody. You don't ever take your time for ask the very driver the way they talk about booking. Say that why slave officer they ask him or the rider there. What did they mean by booking? What did they say according to their own type, according to their own book? Oh, what did they answer? You want compare them? So what team media 001 or GI go tell you? Then you go make this plus this now equal so minus. You find the answer for no waiting. Why slave boy bill officer they mean by booking at traffic?
Well, now this number we get time for inside the edition. Now this number we get time for inside the edition of the program Morning Coffee. We want to say thank you to all the guests that were joining inside the program, and also thank you to William Knuckles for technical support to Facebook live stream page, Gerald Sisse, Sally Futamara to we correspondent them, and also we radio station in other regions, we party station, they always link across the country. Want to say plenty thank you to Una. But far I got a member is sense word we come up from Makome Brown, we tap now at allo. Say big talk no say in master po. Well, my name na David Agaba. I wish you a lovely day. So till tomorrow by God power me comping.
My name is Ibrahim Samora and I continue for listening to SLBC. We get media show for now. We get for going to updates, but see they happen again at Salon. And later we get news for you plus entertainment. Now continue for listening to SLBC because your voice, my voice. Morning Coffee, we come back tomorrow. Goodbye. My name is Ibrahim Samora.